joining us now on 105.3 The Fan, one of the most exciting players at training camp in 2021. He has a lot of people on both sides of the ball talking about him. Here he is, Big 94, Randy Gregory on The Fan.
And I'm big now?
Yes, I think you are.
Yeah. I've always thought I was like lean and little. Now I'm big.
How much more do you weigh than you weighed when we watched your Nebraska tape?
Oh, shoot, man. Nebraska,
30?
I don't know. Back in the day, I used to lie and say I was 240, and I was walking around 228 dripping wet.
How long does it take when you're working out to go from being lean to being super strong or whatever you are right now?
Well, I mean, I'm always naturally strong. I think if you ask some of the strength coaches, I'm probably one of the stronger D linemen we have. And I mean, out of all the D linemen, I really mean that. But I've always naturally been real lean. I've never really been a big guy. I've just been real narrow. Yeah, I mean, I think I've gotten a grasp over what's a good weight for me and how my body needs to look come season time. So
what is that weight? What are you, around 265, 270?
I wish. No, I probably won't get any heavier than 260, 261, and no less than 255. I think last year was probably my heaviest. I came into camp like 264. And actually had some hamstring problems coming into camp, so I had to drop a little bit of weight because I don't think my body was used to that. But I think 255, 260 range is probably a perfect weight for me.
Do you cut quick then? Do you go back down the other way fast as well?
My metabolism slowed down over the years, like my dad always told me.
Happens.
Yeah, back in the day, I would off season, if I would just kind of eat 3 square meals and not really focus on my lifting and my weight, I would drop down to 225, 230, and have to work my way back up. And now I can maintain 245 if I dropped weight. But getting the weight back is really easy. It's just trying to maintain it over the course of the year, which everyone has those issues sometimes. Some guys have problems trying to keep their weight down. Some guys have problems trying to keep their weight up. So.
Hey, I'm going to give you credit yesterday for the Diggs interception because of your coverage of Pollard in the flat. Man, what about that, huh?
Hey, I'm an athlete.
You are an athlete, man. I'll tell you what, I mean, Quinn's got you going up the field and throwing all those moves. But, man, you carried a shifty running back up the sidelines, and it took the read away from the quarterback.
Yeah.
So is that something? I mean, obviously it's like you're gambling your rear off out there doing that stuff. But talk about having to play a little bit of pass coverage every once in a while.
Well, I like it, because it really shows my athleticism. I think all the guys we have at end have the ability to do that. And, I think it speaks volumes when our coaches really believe in us to go out there and do that. We have different packages. And one of the things I love about Coach Quinn and the whole defensive staff is, we're very diverse in our packages and different guys we can put in there and different things, different schemes we can do. And that's one of the things we can do is have our guys go out there and cover people. And, it's kind of funny because we're seeing the offense, they'll have Tony and Zeke back there, 2-back set, and they'll throw them out on a wheel route. So it's nice to go out there and show, how good of an athlete I can be. Not exactly sure if I want to be out there on an island, but if I got to go out there and do it,
you're in good shape, man. You're in good shape.
You don't want to line up with CD? You got good length. You can kind of hit him at the line of scrimmage.
It's not happening. I had enough trouble trying to cover him on a reverse, and I told him that, but definitely don't want to be out there on a slot trying to cover Tyreek Hill or somebody like that. So
now, Randy, this will be almost all football, this conversation, but I read the article on you in The Athletic, and as somebody who has fought their own mental health battles over the last decade and still does every day with anxiety, depression, stuff like that, I just wanted to tell you, I think you sound incredible, like in terms of just the confidence and conversation. And I just want to tell you as a human that I'm proud of the journey that I read about. And I think for our listeners, there's so many people that deal with so many things, even listening to sports radio, that it's incredibly important. And I think you've touched a whole lot of people. So if you're willing to share anything about your individual growth as a human being and therapy, medication, whatever it is, I just think it's important.
I mean, I could go all day with that. I think it's over time I've been a little bit more comfortable talking about it. It's a very sensitive topic, obviously, and for me, I'm a real private person, but I think we're seeing more, especially in the sports landscape. People are coming out and and talking about mental health and how important it is. And it's a big deal, not just in sports, but just in the everyday world. I think a lot of people mistake mental health for, some specific illness they have, whether it be, bipolar or schizophrenia, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes it's not that, complex. Everyone has their days, and some people have longer days. I've had weeks, months where I really couldn't get out of a certain space that I didn't want to be in. And, one of the biggest things for me as far as my growth was just speaking out. I wasn't very good at doing that. Thought I could handle a lot of things on my own, and I was a real impulsive individual when I was younger, and I still am, but just not as bad, and just couldn't get out of my own way. So I've gotten a lot better about it, and it's nice to see, other people speak up on it. I've been through the medication. I've been through the therapy, the rehab, the inpatient, outpatient. I've done it all. And, one thing I said a couple days ago was that, it's never really going to change until you want to change for yourself, And I had people from the Joneses all the way down to, my parents reaching out and trying to help me. And it's not to say that I didn't want the help, but, I just felt like maybe I didn't need it at the time and thought I could handle it myself. And it would backfire. And, I've gotten to a point now where I can do a better job of reaching out, asking for help, and taking advice and really, putting it and trying to put it into my life and better my life now.
Randy, the part of it that I really related to is I'm a guy that's into meditation and mantras and affirmation. So reading about that part with you and your wife was really interesting, and I could definitely see how that would be empowering for you.
It is. That's all her. That's stuff that I learned during treatment that I thought was kind of corny at the time. And waking up a lot of days where me and her and my daughter, we can just sit there and meditate for a little bit. And she's real big on, positive thinking. One of my biggest things was just, coming out here, I'm like, damn, I'm in a contract year. I want to play well. I want to have a better year than I did last year. I feel like I have the ability to, make a, splash on this team and this league right now. Well, what if I get hurt, And, in that instant, she's always in my head, stop thinking about that. Just go out there and be yourself, be a player. Don't worry about all that. It's going to take care of itself. So it's definitely been easier for me, just taking a more holistic approach to, my health.
That's badass. You get your daughter rolling in there with you. Mine's 10, and she's always, trying to resist it and stuff. So I guess starting them early's a key there, or makes it easier. Hey, speaking of being impulsive, though, I've always wanted to ask you this. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, but we were doing a show at the stadium during your preseason banquet that you do with the Cowboys. And we thought it was pretty awesome. We still talk about it every now and then. But Jeff and I were there doing the midday show with Mike Bassick. And y'all were lined up, I don't know, getting ready to eat or something, or take your seats. Okay. And you wheel on us and shoot us the double barrels. You flipped us the double bird. And I was like, man, is he joking around, or is he did he hear something that Mike said or something? Do you remember that at all?
I don't know, man. I was a real confused individual back in the day. I may have read something online, but no. It's more of how Bill Russell's always got to give someone the finger. It's more like that. I like just messing with people.
Listen, anything done pre-therapy is something that we're allowed to take back. We get to take that back. We know.
I barely can remember half the shit I did last week, so I couldn't even tell you.
Right on. It's Randy Gregory here with you on 105.3 The Fan.
How's Tank coming along? We're looking to get both of you out there so we can get all the sacks.
I'm looking forward to him coming out. He's taking it easy right now. Obviously him rehabbing back, but Tank's a great player. He's a great leader for us. He's going to do everything he needs to do to get back on the field, and that's what he's doing. Him and Tristan. So. It's going to take a little bit of time. I think, like I said, it's just trying to work his way back in right now.
And Randy, Jeff and I were on the fence line watching you in pre-practice work with Dan Quinn. He's kind of got you in that mode. I mean, you've got all that ability and stuff like that. Is he trying to refine stuff that you're doing, or is he teaching you a couple of new tricks along the way?
It's a little bit of both. I think he's definitely trying to refine some things, trying to expand my quote-unquote catalog of pass rush moves
Sure.
and things like that. And even his way of playing certain blocks are a little bit different than what I've learned in the past. So I'm trying to kind of get used to that and, just hone in on some of the skills I have and trying to get better at that too. But he's doing a great job. Pre-practice, see a lot of guys out there working with, Coach AD. And then obviously when we get into individual, I go from Quinn to AD to Big Cat and kind of get a little circuit going, trying to get my hands and eyes and feet ready for practice.
Who's a scarier guy, Big Randy Gregory or Slim Lyle Collins?
Oh man,
He's out here with his shirt off.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because he thinks he's big sexy. He suffers from that light skin treatment. The light skin guys, they really think that they're the sexiest individuals on the planet, and big or small doesn't matter. And he's one of them. Him and Ty, they think they're just very sexy individuals, even given how big they are. So, but I would take myself any day.
Are you country like they are? I know there's some big time fishermen out on the lake and all that.
Not like that. I'm a little bit of a mix. I grew up in the Midwest. My mom's from Memphis, so I get a little bit of country, I guess you could say, from her. But my dad's from Brooklyn, so he's more of the city type. So it's a good little mix. But I grew up in the Midwest. I don't consider myself country. I don't consider myself city. I've always lived on the outskirts, but definitely have been blessed with being around a lot of different people and a lot of different environments, so I feel like I can kind of adapt.
Hey, Randy, with all that it's happened to you, though, did you ever think you would be back in this spot right now? Did you ever have doubts about that like, man, this is too much. You guys are asking too much of me right now. Is it? I know what you went through with the league and all that stuff. Did it ever just say, man, enough's enough?
I had my moments. I really did. I think going into, I'd say, after 2018, maybe it was a struggle.
Sure.
I had my moments where I was ready to be like, maybe this isn't for me. But when I finally broke it down and kind of simplified it, I realized, like I said, I got in my own way a lot, and I had a lot of people around me that were willing to help and have stuck by me from start all the way till now, and that includes the coaches, the team, a lot of guys in the media, such as yourselves, and I've always said it's about trying to get that trust back, with people, and I think I'm doing that off the field, and now it's trying to put a good product on the field and take it from there.
Well, I want to say you did one of the most honorable things to me. I wasn't very fair to you when you came out. At all, and I admitted that, and I appreciate you were so nice to my son Bennett when he was working at camp.
He's a good kid.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I remember him.
But I wasn't fair to you, but you forgave me for being so crummy to you. I mean, and it taught me a very valuable lesson, and I want to thank you for doing that, man. You got a great heart, and I appreciate you doing that. I really do.
And to let you know, I did not know that was your son.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And it wouldn't have mattered either way.
No, you treated him. It was like he would come home every night and he would say, "Man, Randy and I mean, you had him on dip run for you now." He had, and I tell you what, man, you owe me $5 because I bought 2 cans of Copenhagen for you on the way home.
Hey,
and I said,
what
you know what?
Rookies for now.
I told Bennett, I said, Bennett, when did you start dipping? He goes, no, this is for Randy. And I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? I need to buy him a roll of this Copenhagen, not just 2 cans.
I never said I was the greatest influence. But, he's a good kid. He knows
Thank you.
better,
I appreciate you saying that, sir. I really do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Randy, that's awesome. Tear him up. Get that much-deserved reward and give him hell. We'll be pulling for you.
I appreciate it, you guys.